Welcome back to channel Toshi Army. It has been about 4 or 5 days since my last video on the best project on base chain. Since then, we've had some fairly volatile price action. Obviously, we have had the massive pumps 10 or 11 days ago. This project did a clean 2x, which for a large market cap meme is pretty unusual. Since then, we've had some surprising dips about 4 or 5 days ago, but thankfully, we are pulling back up in the last 24 hours. Today's video, I'm going to go over exactly what I believe caused the dip. We're going to discuss whether it's a market-wide dip or just isolated the Toshi and base chain memes. Then we're going to look at some specific bullish indicators. And don't forget that this channel is sponsored by BTCC. This is my go-to crypto exchange. They are fully available for people in the US, Europe, and everywhere else. If you go through my referral link in the top of the video description area, you get up to $10,000 in bonuses. That's money that can be used to cover trading losses, trading fees. You can trade with the money and then keep the profits. Now let's dive into Toshi. So obviously we were red hot at the start of the month. The whole market was pumping. Ethereum especially was hot because ETH was just down for too long. It was bound to turn around at some point, and that is exactly what happened around 2 weeks ago based on nothing whatsoever. Just randomly started pumping, so everything on ETH was hot. And then all the Ethereum compatible chains like Base also became hot. Everything on Base was pumping. Toshi, Miggles, Brett, Dog and Me, Keyboard Cat, it was all rising. Even the non-Ethereum compatible chains like Solana were pumping. But then what happened here? Obviously, the momentum was sort of stalled across the market. This is what happened. Blockchain Futures Conference in Toronto and Consensus Conference also in Toronto. Blockchain Futures, I went to this one. That was on Monday, and then that was on Tuesday, excuse me. Consensus is a 3-day conference wrapping up today. It was Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So it appears that everyone just kind of got out of their rhythms. Like I was doing 3 videos per day right before I went to the conference, and I didn't turn on my camera for 4 full days. So it appears that the momentum was just temporarily lost as people fell out of their rhythms, but now people are getting back into their sort of daily schedules. I'm pumping out content again. Everyone else is. So we have the market rising again, and I believe it will gain a lot of momentum. Now, there is some bad news, but mixed in with some good news on that note, and that is that there's another big conference coming up, for better or worse, Bitcoin Vegas, in 10 days. I will be there. Anyone in Toshi, if you're going to be there, drop me an email saying, let me know. Let's meet up. So hopefully any market-wide momentum we achieve in the next 10 days isn't killed again at this conference. I'm a little bit more bullish just because Bitcoin isn't really a meme coin chain. It's not an altcoin chain, whereas Consensus is specifically an Ethereum-based conference. So that conference could have more an effect on altcoins in general. Now, the good news about Bitcoin Vegas is that Brett on base chain, they are throwing another big party Tuesday, May 27th in Vegas. It's at some huge mansion. It's a Playboy themed party. So that's night 1 of the conference. So why does it matter? Well, obviously Toshi's on base, Brett's on base, but let's look at the Brett performance the last 2 big parties they threw at crypto events. Right here. This is about a month ago. Token 2049 in Dubai. They threw a huge carnival party on the beach. It was vastly well attended. This coin, Brett, went up from $350 million market cap all the way about a 2x to looks like about 670 million MC in the week, the 7 to 8 days before and after the conference. And that's not the only time it happened. Art Basel in Miami. So that's right here. About December 4th, I think 4th or 5th, they threw another huge party at that event. That is a crypto event, Art Basel. Look at it. This coin, Brett, it went from 170 million market cap all the way up to 220 million market cap in the week before and after the party. So hopefully this carnival party will have the same effect, which means if it does have the same effect, everything on base, including Toshi, will be pumping. Now let's move on to some bullish news specifically on Toshi, and that's that 3 weeks ago, April 25th, I didn't notice this until now, but Binance US quietly added support for the Base network. Currently over there, you can trade ETH on Base and USDC on Base. So they haven't yet listed any Base chain specific projects or meme coins, but it is usually a precursor to that happening because the exchange is basically saying, okay, we approve of this blockchain as a good contributor to cryptocurrency in our ecosystem in general. Now, Binance, they've long added support for Base Network about a year and a half ago in late 2023. But while we're on the topic of Binance, check this out right here just yesterday. So Binance, the actual Twitter page, not Binance US, they said, what's the first word you see in this little Scrabble puzzle? Look at this right here. TOSHI. Credit to Toshi Dev for immediately spotting that. I think that is a little bit too much to be a coincidence, people. I think Binance definitely has Toshi on their mind, then I would be shocked if the big Binance listing doesn't happen at some point soon, probably the next market pump, whenever that is, a couple weeks, month or two, something like that. But as you know, Toshi's already listed on Coinbase and Bybit and Gate, just pretty much everything except OKX and Binance. Now let's see what the community is saying about Toshi. Toshi is one of my heaviest bags on base, bounced off support, now sitting above 300 million MC. Yes, it certainly did bounce off support, and we are sitting right about at 300 million. Toshi buy only. Toshi making a bull flag, looking good. Send it. People definitely seem bullish. Here's my tweet. You can follow me on Twitter if you want, at bencryptoshow. We have what here? Binance is waiting for the perfect time to list Toshi. Be patient. Toshi is going good. I'd have to agree. The top exchanges, they always wait till the market is pumping when they're going to list a big coin, because then they're going to get the most trading volume in those first few days. They always generate the most fees the first few days when a coin is pumping. So they want to do it when a lot of eyes are on a specific meme coin and crypto in general. And that is it for now. Toshi Army, drop a comment down below. Give me your price prediction. Give me when you think Binance will list Toshi. Anything else, I'll be back later with a new video. Bankrupt signing out. Catch you later.